Behind the Counter is sponsored by
Hover.com. Domain names made simple. Go to gfq.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. And by Stitcher Radio. Listen on the go via the Stitcher mobile app. For more information, go to stitcher.com/GFQ.
Hello and welcome everybody to another awesome edition of Amazing, Astounding, Astonishing, lots of A words because we saw the Avengers today, Behind the Counter. I'm your host, Rich Stambolian, and with me as always is John Adler.
Hey.
I flipped it on you.
Flipped it on me because he didn't write material today.
I was gonna throw something out there about a mad person, but I figured why do that?
Why do it?
You know.
Why?
All right, the Mad King, me and John Adler. We if you couldn't tell by my awesome intro, we just came back from an event. Literally just came back from Avengers. That's why we're a little bit late. So you're gonna get an awesome big review about the Avengers movie. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna fanboy it. We're gonna talk about some more Avengers stuff later on, and possibly another comic book that is not Avengers related, but it's gonna be hard. What's going on?
You know, I did not like that film.
No,
Did not enjoy it.
hated the movie.
Did not like it.
Yeah,
Very,
sucked, right?
It just seemed a bit short and just very underdeveloped.
John's also wearing the 3D glasses that he took from the movie theater because he's going to sell them on the street.
Well, they're a federal crime. If I do take them.
They make more, I hear they make more 3D glasses out of these 3D glasses.
They do.
They,
it's the same thing. My bag was open.
They flip the lenses.
They're probably filthy.
As honestly as I know we're supposed to talk about this for 45 minutes, but my review could be summed up in as a fanboy, talking as a fanboy, I feel like I watched the moon landing.
Yeah, dude. It was powerful, man.
Yeah.
It was so well done.
Can I say some spoilers?
I can say
It's
spoilers.
your network, dude.
Can I? I'm gonna unveil some stuff.
Okay.
Thor is an alcoholic,
Right.
and he slept with Scarlett Johansson and
Yes.
then killed her.
Yes.
He actually chopped her head off because she is Highlander.
Actually, he snuffed her out because he didn't want anybody else to have her.
Yeah, and then Iron Man backhanded some woman because he's totally out of touch. Not Iron Man, Captain America.
That was Iron Man.
I know it was Iron Man.
Iron Man's very out of touch. I wish we had that Hall & Oates on right now. 45 minutes of straight Hall & Oates. Hey, girlfriend, if you're watching, that was for you.
They're all for you.
So, Avengers, man, let's go. Let's do it. A movie experience. I could have done with a little more darkness in the movie theater, but
Yeah, we were complaining the fact that the lights were not totally off.
Yeah.
We're wearing sunglasses throughout the whole movie, so you do want the darkest experience possible. Smelled like shit.
oh, forget it, man.
We were surrounded by babies.
Yeah. I'm taking a
We
gigantic shower when I
This
get home.
yeah, this was a 3:00 show, so it was pretty filthy, and it was a lot of talking.
There was a surprising amount of talking.
I really was gonna flip out at some point.
Well, you know what? Like, it's like watching watching a movie with like your folks or your grandparents,
Yeah.
where you're like, it's all you heard was, "Who's that?
Who's that?
Why?
I like that.
Why is that?
Look what he's doing.
Is this the first movie of its kind?"
I like how all their stories are in this.
Yeah, but you know, if you haven't if you've been living under a rock and you're a comic fan, you should be ashamed of yourself if you haven't seen Captain America or Thor or the Iron Man movies before seeing this movie, because they did such a beautiful job of not really like doing flashback stuff.
Yeah,
Which I was kind of worried about, actually. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you see that the movie's 2.5 hours long,
Mhm.
you expect like, okay, you're gonna expect the exposition of everybody's story told through flashbacks or whatever. Did not do that at all. It's perfect.
And this is exactly why they did this for so long, and like took the time to do single shot movies, give them the character development, because like at this point, when they started rolling out these Marvel movies with like Iron Man,
Right.
where they started creating this continuity. This was what 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
It's just a give or take. So they've had time to develop. We now, have, I wouldn't say 10 years ago, Iron Man was a household name. Everyone knows who Iron Man Tony Stark is.
Right.
What year did Iron Man come out?
I don't remember.
I want to say 2001, 2002.
No.
Yeah. Maybe actually no. You know what?
2004.
I think I was corrected the other day. It may have actually been 2006.
It was 2008.
With the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, it
10 years.
feels like it's been 10 years in our minds.
10 years.
We're time displaced, by the way.
No. The Hulk. When the Hulk movie come out?
Yeah, but this was the first one that really started making like the Avengers tapestry.
Yeah.
This was the first one with the the end credits. Hinting into where we are right now.
With Sam Jackson at the end, Iron Man
Yep.
1, showing up and saying, "Why do I gotta get this Iron Man in my team?"
You're not on my team.
I'm working on it.
It's very good.
But he did have, if you're a Sam Jackson fan, there is a couple of really zany Sam Jackson moments in the movie where I just feel like Joss Whedon, who did a bang up job, by the way.
Yeah.
The dude understands that you want to see crazy effing stuff going on.
Yeah,
in the movie.
And I honestly, we were on the way back, we were just talking about it. And we said how he is the perfect choice for this type of movie because you are you're dealing with the the conflict of these guys getting together and like button heads, so you have to do a lot of dialogue, and they let him ham it up. Everyone gets along so well, and it's good chemistry, and just you said, you get to do awesome crazy stuff, big alien stuff. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I hate Hall & Oates in the chat says, why is Jonathan carrying around a bottle of his own pee? And I said, that's what you do.
That's what I do.
Somebody should be busy making dinner right now.
I don't know.
That's somebody.
I'm going to drink my own pee right now.
Watch a man drink his own pee after watching the Avengers and working all day.
No waste in my life.
I also feel like today has also been one of the sweatiest days on record for me.
It's gross.
Working. We don't work in the same place, but we have, for some reason, we have very similar schedules. Work, waking up really early, going to work, boom, go to the movies, boom, wait online, boom, sit in the sweaty movie theater, boom, come back here, boom.
So we're a little it's almost like jet lag at this point.
Somebody needs a shower. Both of us. What I really enjoy is that, and you kind of get the Buffy element. We both did the elbow nudge, he's making it Buffy in the movie.
Totally
with,
Buffy.
The Scarlett Johansson stuff where she's just this ass kicking woman, and she should be. A really cool thing is that they played up the strengths of every actor involved.
Yes.
Because you have such a dynamic range of characters, and arguably, Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston are probably the two best actors they had in the movie.
Yes.
So you have you have all these opening scenes, and
Downey rocks.
Downey also,
Yeah.
but I feel like he's more. He doesn't have that Shakespearean bent to his acting. He's just a solid, awesome actor. But you have all these scenes with Chris Evans is a little stiff, but they didn't. They made it work with him.
He's supposed to be.
Yeah, because he's a man at a time. Scarlett Johansson's a little stiff. They made it work because she's a spy.
Very much more likable than her past roles.
Exactly. Jeremy Renner, who was fantastic Hawkeye, they went a different route and didn't make the jokey, sarcastic Hawkeye. They made him a
Stone Cold Killer.
They made him a Stone Cold Killer and a genuine badass. But I feel like the smoke cleared in the first scene you see that's just Loki and Thor, where it's this is acting.
Yeah. Yeah. They do chew up the scenes. Yeah. Everyone's wonderful. Everyone does such a damn good job. Whole lot of personality. Everything there's not a boring scene in the movie. It's got that Whedon dialogue, but still feels completely like Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
And there's so much to talk about. I mean, we get in within the first hour, you get pretty much everyone's fighting each other. So you get your Iron Man versus Thor. You get Captain America versus Iron Man. You get Iron Man versus Captain America and Thor. It's awesome.
Everybody fights everybody. Except for ScarJo, she fights the Hulk.
Yeah,
she fights Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Did Batman show up?
Batman did not show up yet. Not yet. He wasn't. We did see his wonderful trailer though. The great thing about Hawkeye is, which I think is a weird homage to him being a villain at one point. The fact that early on in the movie he gets mind controlled by Loki. Right. So he's he's a bad guy for pretty much almost the entire movie. And it works so awesome because they establish, how badass this dude is right off the bat because he's a killer. This is a guy who's trained all of his life. He's very close to the Ultimate version where he's much more hard-edged.
Yeah.
But he really did a good job of dude, it's the guy with the arrows, and against the Hulk and Thor and everything like that, and he still stands up and he still does a great job.
Well, they turned the guy with the arrows into a dude who basically could get the job done, because he was like a lot. He was like
who is he? Who's the guy with the arrows?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
They did like a bunch of focal points with him, like like Quiver was my favorite part.
That was awesome.
Where he has a quiver, and in the comics, he knows by feel which are his trick arrows. And I think maybe at one point they explained that they have different notches at the end, so you can feel them. But in the movie, he has a regular quiver that is mechanized at the bottom with the different arrowheads. So he clicks on an arrow, sends a clicks on the bow, it sends a signal to the quiver, it screws in a different arrowhead, and he's ready to go.
Yeah,
so he knows which arrow to pick, and it was awesome. Man. They're really cool stuff, and you get the trick shot arrows too, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
I
want to talk about Hulk.
Let's talk about Hulk.
All right, it's been so long. Like I think Hulk he's gone through a lot of stuff, a lot of mediocre movies.
Now, if I may, I know you're a big fan of the Ang Lee Hulk.
I am.
And I know you also like the Ed Norton Hulk.
I do.
You have 3 dudes playing the Hulk in the past 10 years.
This is the best dude.
Okay.
Ruffalo rocked. Ruffalo rocked. Plus, Hulk looked fantastic. And then they did a bunch of things that really worked. Number one, you've never seen Hulk in a setting like this where you have mass destruction. They let him rip through. We've seen pretty much 2 movies where he fought like the army and he fought, in a desert.
And the desert. He fought the desert.
He fought in the desert.
And then at the end of the last one, he fought New York.
Yeah, and it's not what you want to see the Hulk do. You want to see him go nuts. And you get to see him like completely unleash and be a bad dude. And he had a lot of personality. There's a lot of cool stuff. Like, it's seeing Thor versus Hulk on air is amazing. I didn't even, what? All this time while I was, while we've been reading stuff about this film, I never even crossed my mind of like an awesome Hulk Thor fight. And you get it.
I was looking forward to that because I was hoping that they would do it and it delivered exactly what I wanted. I wanted the Asgardian smirk of fighting somebody who is way bigger than he is, and you got that. You got that awesome. You got hand to hand Thor Hulk, and then you got hey, listen, I got a hammer dude. Awesome scene,
hammer dude,
fantastic scene. You have Hulk tearing through and also you have the helicarrier, which was a nice
awesome
way they did it.
Yeah.
But the Hulk, man, some may say he stole the show. I think you say
I think I think every scene that guy was in, everyone like the audience lost their mind. Everything he did. He does some really great moments. He has a great moment with Loki that everyone's gonna talk about. He's a force of nature. You got to really see the Hulk that you see in the comic books. And not for nothing, like the dude looks great. Like he looks fantastic. And I give him the line of the movie. I give him the line. Which was he was walking off and he just arrives after like the Avengers have been fighting for a while, and he shows up on his little motor scooter, and Captain America goes to him, he's like, hey, I think it's time for you to suit up. And he's like, what was it?
He's like, my secret is?
My secret is I'm angry all the time, and he immediately transforms the Hulk like on like a whim, and while he's walking and just in a single motion just takes down this gigantic like space worm.
And gigantic.
Gigantic. And gigantic.
It was fantastic. You can
so good.
We can fanboy this the entire episode, which we're doing, but and it's hard not to be that 15-year-old kid who loves playing Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of those video gamey moments. There's moments of like awesome like tag team action kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like dudes using each other's powers, things like that. And like Joss Whedon did a bang up job of, and like not even just to like throw something out there, like if you haven't watched the movie yet, you get some cool stuff. Like you get a quick shot of like Iron Man beaming his repulsor beams off of Cap's shield to take out like a bunch of enemies. Cap, the shield stuff comes into play a whole lot more than the Captain America movie.
Oh, I think so. He rocked with the shield in this. He has a great fight with Loki where he just like throwing his shield around. Captain America obviously does better when he's fighting a bunch of soldiers. Yeah, like in the movie. Yeah. And they do some great Iron Man stuff too. Like they do like amazing Iron Man moments.
Yeah, and like they really, if you love the first 2 Iron Man movies and you like the quips, this movie was like a good 2.5 hours of Tony Stark Tony Stark quips.
Yeah, you know what? My biggest concern about this movie was that you have all these guys walking in from their own franchises and how well they would work together and who would be fighting for screen time and everything. And I really do feel it was like really strongly balanced and no one really overpowered one another.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it went more towards Downey.
I don't think it's written towards Downey. I think that we gravitate towards his scenes more.
My argument for that is the fact that he uses the cover of his character to get more screen time. Because all the stuff that they did, it's basically like, why wouldn't he show up on the helicarrier?
Of course,
and thinks he owns the place.
Yeah,
and he walked around like he owned the place.
Well, he's a catalyst. Yeah. I mean, he's a catalyst for every single one of the characters. He's a guy who puts his hand out to Bruce Banner and come work for me. And like Captain America, he's you see like the beginning of their relationship together. Thor, he's just like, who is this dude?
Yeah,
I don't understand him. And there's he doesn't have a lot of time with Hawkeye or Scarlett Johansson at all. They like that. They're kind of like their own story. Like the two of them, which is kind of cool. Yeah. That they kind of just keep them, on
soldiers.
The same level. Yeah, the soldiers element of it.
And like you also get the dynamic, like the hidden and I don't want to say meaning, but like you get a really excellent dynamic between Cap and Tony Stark because they really play up the fact that he's like, listen, dude, like you're a guy in a cloth costume from 1940. Like you don't even know how to use a calculator. I built a suit of armor that is not only a Wi-Fi hotspot, but it's essentially from the future. Yes. So he doesn't, and like the thing that Tony Stark doesn't give credit to anybody is a wonderful touch to the character. Yeah. Where like it comes out in his dickishness. Yeah. And the only person he gives credit to is Bruce Banner saying like, hey, this guy's speaking my language over here. Yeah. And like an awesome line when they were on a helicarrier and he was like, he's basically saying like, why you got to be so timid, man? You should strut. Like you have like this monster inside you, like why you have to be so like sad about everything? Yeah,
Yeah, they did such a good job. Because it really, and that was my biggest concern is that the team itself would not work, and it felt very fluid and very strong, and it does feel like there's a great moment at the end of the movie. I'm not gonna spoil it for it. Stay to the end of the movie. But it does show like the unity that these guys go through and why they would function as a team. Not just because they're being hired by the government or anything like that. Yeah. It really does like work on a human level. They do it's such a big movie. There's so much going on, and it really like starts immediately. Like right off the bat, it's like action, 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 but it's still not bogged down by it. It's wonderful. It's just a good balance of like great character development and incredible action scenes.
Excellent script too. For me, and I'm sure for you too, and a lot of fans is. When you walk into a superhero movie, you expect plot holes. You expect like complete stupidity. For example, like the two Fantastic Four movies, which were just like I picture them as like 10 minutes of a loose script, or 10 pages of a loose script, and then like winging it. Yeah, whereas like this is very thought out. Every moment in the movie is extremely thought out as far as dialogue went and as far as action went. I mean, you definitely have a couple of hokey moments, like when Cap just couldn't shoot that one guy on the helicarrier. Yeah. But that adds to the drama and the tension of the movie. But at the same time, it's like, it's Captain America, man. Like, he's going to take out 85 aliens later on. Yeah. And he couldn't do this. Like, one dude. The one pudgy guy who's like,
Did you guys see the Samuel L. Jackson tweet about the New York Times review? The New York Times gave it a shitty review.
Really?
Yeah, and he wrote, fans, New York Times critic A.O. Scott needs a news job. Let's help him find one. One that he could actually do.
Screw that dude.
I got to get this Twitter off of my reviews. It's getting better.
I like it. I've always liked it. I think it's a very strong impression. I think he was good in it. I think they gave him a good amount of screen time. It wasn't overdone with the Nick Fury stuff.
It wasn't. It was good.
Dude shoots a bazooka at a Chinese game plane. It was really cool.
That was really, really cool. And I think that was from that may have been from the Ultimates too, like with the bazooka reveal.
Yeah, I think so. Like because you could do cool stuff with them, but just that. I think we're all kind of burnt out by Sam Jackson at this point.
It's hard not to be. Yeah, it's really hard not to be. I love Sam Jackson.
But go back and watch Long Kiss Goodnight, and you'll fall in love with him all over again.
I've never seen Long Kiss Goodnight.
guarantee, like you sit down, you're like, that is why I signed up for Samuel L. Jackson.
You know what movie makes me do that? The movie with him and Wednesday from the Addams Family. Where he chains her up.
Oh, Black Snake Bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That awesome.
He's very good in that movie. Yeah, but this is like, this was, because he did Long Kiss Goodnight right after Pulp Fiction. So it was the first thing he did that before he, like, they milked the crap out of, like, that type of personality.
That voice.
Yeah, and he's just so awesome, and he's the most ridiculously dressed human being in the world. He wears golf clothes throughout the whole movie. It's amazing.
Well, he like in this movie too. I mean, like the
he
outfit,
looked like Admiral Akbar for half the movie.
He did. The outfit, you know, like you have the Ultimate Fury outfit, which doesn't make any sense for any kind of soldier in authority position. Like, or we
black leather coat.
Like we get that you're a spy.
Turtleneck.
You know? What was that NES spy game?
Go 13.
No, you know what I'm talking about though. With the dude with the collar.
Spy vs. Spy?
No, forget it. To spend too long on that bit.
Spies.
But you know, like you get that voice too, and it's done well. Like he doesn't have any snappy one-liners. There's no like, you know, I'm gonna play this movie like John Shaft.
No,
like,
yeah,
nothing like that,
they definitely held him back in this movie.
Yeah, which is good.
Thankfully,
my one gripe is that this dude kept taking out his 9mm like as if that's gonna do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, arguably also the thing about that is Black Widow probably fights the entire army with like a pair of 9mm, and
she doesn't have 9. She has like little Berettas. Like,
like she's like little baby guns, and like you see her like reloading like a bunch of times and shooting the crap out of a bunch of people, and she used her stingers like once. In the movie. So like I think like after she reloaded, I'm like, what are they gonna do with guns against these like all these like soldiers and cops are showing up with guns, and like these are like cyborg space warriors that they're fighting with laser beams. They're fighting like the Halo game.
They did a really awesome job with destroying New York in the movie.
They really wreck it.
Made
Frankie very upset.
I know. I saw him. He was like reacting to it, but like I was getting upset too.
When they took out like the library, it was like oh man.
Yeah. Wow, with the Mercury in front of the whole thing with that is like as soon as that thing opened up, and if I was in the city at that point, I would be like, I am moving out tomorrow.
Goodbye.
I'm gone.
Goodbye.
Even outer boroughs, man, just out.
Yeah.
No alien's gonna come to Minnesota.
Plus, so like a big plot point in the movie is that they open up a gigantic portal and like a wave of like alien warriors come in that fight alongside Loki. But part of the plan involved Thor going on to the Chrysler building and electrifying it.
Oh, it was awesome.
Apparently he killed everyone in that building.
I think so. It's reinforced. I don't think he killed everybody in that building.
Know, that's pretty strong lightning, dude.
Yeah,
that lightning took out a giant space worm.
But the Chrysler building is also built for that. That you can zap lightning into it, and nothing will happen.
But that's lightning. This is like Asgardian lightning.
This is special lightning.
This is a dude with a hammer conjuring lightning that's coursing through a building.
Break it down to the essence of the characters in this movie, and you have such a great pastiche of creativity. Captain America, the humble, old-fashioned.
Ooh, before I forget, cool moment I really thought was an awesome touch. The fact that, all right, so there's a death in the movie. Should I say it?
No, don't say it.
All right, so there's a death in the movie, and it's that person was a fan. He kind of represents the fanboy in all of us and everything, and was a big fan of Captain America especially. And Fury pulls out like, you know, he wants you to get he said to Captain America he wanted you to sign these, and he never got around to do it, and he died with them on him. And they're like these bloody like Captain America cards. And then the next scene is like Maria Hill coming over to Fury and saying like, oh, you know, he had those in his locker. He never had his bodies. Like, you know, they got the push they needed. So you got to see like cool, like manipulative, like scumbag, like for the greater good Fury, which is like exactly what I wanted. Like, I don't like Fury as a benevolent force. I like him being in the operating of gray, where like he will sacrifice you if, you know, it's for the greater good.
He has to do what he has to do.
It's for the realm.
Yeah, exactly. But no, they do a really good job of kind of like, there's a lot of moments in the movie where you're like, oh, Nick Fury, you're such a jerk. But you have like what I was saying before is you have you know, Cap, who's like the good American Pie, apple pie,
good old American Pie,
apple pie baseball, radios, transistor radios, and you have the
vampires.
You have the walking iPad in Iron Man. You have
he is the walking iPad.
You have the magic.
He's Google. He's the Google eye things that they're doing now.
You have the magic based character. and then you have the average Joes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and then you have the Rage Monster.
And you have you have the terrible secret that lies within everybody.
I don't think. See. No, it is. I think I'm so floored by the Hulk thing because they've spent so much time developing these characters, and the Thor movie rocked, the Captain America movie rocked, the Iron Man rocked. Hulk has always been the shaky one, and no one talked about Hulk going into this. Like, Hulk shows up, he's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like,
I didn't think he was going to play as big a role he did.
That's the whole thing. Is like the dude rocks the movie, and when he shows up, and he Mark Ruffalo is a great actor. He does a great job of making Banner interesting. And in my opinion, I love Ed Norton as an actor. I love Eric Bana as Bruce Banner. I think Ruffalo kills it as Banner. I don't think he's the Banner that I envision. I always envision like the wormy Banner.
You know what?
Closer to Norton.
It's hard to do that. I feel like the casting choice is right on.
Yeah.
Norton's too sickly. Bond is too handsome.
Well, what's his name? Ultimates originally, they pretty much nailed it with like making him like a Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
Like he was like a wormy, gross kind of like creepy dude. Like he had a weird relationship with his wife and all that stuff. But like they did he was kind of like a lesser Stark, a guy who's been he realized how to control himself. It's an older, wiser Banner at this point. But dude, like seeing like Hulk interact with this, because even to this day, like as a big Avenger fan I never associate the Hulk with the Avengers because he's been out of the game for so long.
Until now.
Yeah, now he's like so closely, whether it be Red Hulk or Green Hulk, like he's so closely related to it, and you're constantly being reminded, because there's been plenty of times, and this like reading comics where you had, they talk about the big three,
right?
They don't talk about the fact that Hulk was the other fourth member, in the crew.
But they do whenever they do the remembrance statue. Hulk is always standing.
He wasn't always there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times he wasn't there in that statue. People would draw him out of that statue
because
they really wanted to keep him away from the fact that he was too much of an anti-hero or whatever. But like this brings it back home. Never killed anybody.
I don't know about that. There's
I don't believe that. I believe we killed a lot of people. I don't go on with that.
The humanity that's thrown into the movie is very excellent. There's a awesome scene between Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, when they're working on a problem that they have to solve in the movie, and they're employing the Tony Stark, like the awesome computer screens from the future, basically, and he essentially turns it into a like a looking glass between both of them, and he's staring at him and he's saying like, look, I've had shrapnel that is inching towards my heart on a daily basis, but I'm here for some reason. And he's like, are you saying that the Hulk saved me from being blown up by a gamma bomb? And he's like, I think so, and it's like that cool. I really enjoyed that moment of like the pep talk of like, you've always had Tony Stark, greatness inside you.
Tony Stark as the catalyst.
Yeah.
He's the one that he really is like the one that kind of brings them together. Like he is the one that is poking at all of them and like messing with them and trying to get like the out of their shells for the most part. And he is encased in armor.
Everybody, seriously, go watch Avengers this week. Even if you haven't seen the other movies, just go watch it.
You can totally enjoy it without seeing any of the movies. You know who Captain America is. You get the basic idea. You don't need to know any true backstory on this.
Actually, you do. You need to know who Selvig is.
What?
You need to know who Selvig is.
I guess honestly which is kind of weird. I guess the only one you really have to see is Thor.
Yeah.
Because they actually do give you like a Captain America recap.
Yeah.
Thor is the only one where they give you basically no backstory whatsoever. That's the only one.
Well, and like the interesting thing about that,
because Thor comes out of nowhere in this movie.
That's the thing. I was just
which
about
is
to say
awesome.
That. The interesting thing about the whole Thor thing is that yes, you had to have seen the Thor movie because A, Loki's the bad guy in this.
Yeah.
B, one of the supporting cast members is also one of the catalysts in this movie.
The Tesseract.
With the Tesseract, and also, and I'm kind of glad that they did away with Asgard in one line. I wish I saw Asgard, but the whole thing with like when Thor shows up, he shows up out of nowhere in a bolt of lightning, which is cool.
Yeah.
But Loki's like, our father, like your father must have spent a lot of dark energy to send you here. It was because Bifrost is still broken.
Right.
So you swept that under the rug really quick in the movie. But yeah, I guess Thor and then see this.
See
the Iron Man movies.
Yeah, you should. It would be. It's definitely gonna be a much more rewarding experience. I mean, Captain America basically leads from the second that you saw it to this.
Right.
That's like the closest, I guess, in the time frame. And also Thor.
There's also the power struggle too in the movie, which I really liked. I enjoyed the quick dynamic of what are we all doing here? Like, who's gonna lead us? Like, who are you? Who am I? Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this guy out of here. This guy's crazy. That guy's crazy. I'm crazy.
And you get the really classic Marvel stuff of like they to get together they had to go through the fights. They had to struggle with each other. I love the fact that they kept with the original idea of like Loki was the reason why that the Avengers got together.
Yep.
It's still a great idea. He's a great villain. I was really surprised I didn't see Red Skull in this. I really felt like he was like gonna make an appearance at some point.
I honestly thought that was gonna be the reveal.
I want to talk about the ending.
Don't talk about the ending.
Oh shit!
Don't
you know what?
We'll talk about it next week.
No.
We can literally open the show next week with that.
I feel like we're not gonna. A lot of people will be watching this live. They'll be watching it during the weekend when it's archived and they've already seen the movie already.
All right, whatever you want to do, John.
Spoiler alert.
Can we actually? You know what we should say? Like, listen, if anybody's watching right now,
because I want to talk about a lot of stuff with that.
keep watching. How much we got left?
Plenty of time. 1,000 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up in 15. This is going to be a spoiler alert. It's the last bit of the show, but if you haven't seen Avengers yet, just leave your house now and go buy it. I don't want to decrease viewership, but if you haven't seen Avengers and just kind of want the spoilers, stick around. We should have like a red alert spoiler. Spoiler alert.
All right, so spoiler in 5, 4, 3.
All right.
You can do it? Really?
You can do it. No, it's spoiler alert, not spoiler Albert.
I'll segue while we're doing this.
You did spell it right.
I'll segue into this. So what I'm going to talk about in a second is the mysterious stuff that happens after the credits. Actually, midway into the credits in this one, which is a classic staple of the Marvel movie.
Well, set it up with who Loki talks to in the beginning, and then at the end, because it's a mysterious force. It's the beginning of the movie.
Yes. Are we good?
We're good.
Can I speak?
Do not listen, Avengers.
Okay.
We're good. Go.
All right. So in the beginning of the movie, Loki was, he was banished at the end of Thor, and he's been given an army and a powerful force to fight the Avengers. In the very beginning of the movie, you don't know what's going on, what is happening. Maybe 25 minutes in the movie, you see he's speaking to some mysterious alien general or whatever it may be that's called the Other.
Right.
That we don't really know what he's talking about. He's also referencing another higher power that's beyond him that has supplied him with the Chitauri.
It was the Chitauri.
Yeah, the Chitauri.
They named it actually because he said, "My Chitauri will be your army."
Yeah, this is who are these alien forces. So you don't know who this person is that granted Loki the army and also his freedom. And it's great. In like mid credits, they show you who it was. They show this other person called the Other, who Rich brought up that he's been credited as being possibly a nihilist,
right?
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense.
Makes a ton of sense
because the other dimension that Loki's in looks exactly like the negative zone.
Exactly,
and you have bugs swooping and duping around.
They're all very bug-like. They're all kind of hunched over and everything. But the thing that the reveal is that the hand behind all this stuff is Thanos.
Yeah.
Which is like, everyone's favorite Infinity Gauntlet storyline. So fanboys, fans of the 90s, you will see Infinity Gauntlet in Avengers 2.
Yeah. I think so. And like the fact that the reveal was so dynamic because you have this hooded being saying like, "My lord, like they've beaten us, like they've sealed the portal. They will beat us every time we come. They will beat us. It's this team of people. They're champions of Earth." And then it's a being standing on an asteroid, looking into the sun, and then you just see the head half turn, and you see Thanos' chin, the smile, and like the purple eyes.
Look great.
He looked phenomenal.
He looked great. He looked exactly out of comics.
But the thing with that is I feel like for dudes like us or for like people who grew up reading comics, like the weight of that reveal is tremendous. For the kids that we had the pleasure or misfortune of watching the movie with, who stuck around, we're just like, who's that?
Who's that? Yeah, I mean, like, screw that, whatever, man. It's rewarding for me. I'm happy about that. I'm not caring about the rest of the audience.
Go ahead.
I think it has so much potential. I think it's a bold choice not to go with like an Ultron for the next one or whatever. But it satisfies so many different markets because once you start referencing the Infinity Gauntlet, you know what the hell they're going to be talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm surprised they didn't even have him have the Infinity Gauntlet as like show his face and like the fist closing down or whatever.
Well, you could also like they could work it into the next movie where like Loki bartered Asgardian runes with him at some point. Home run. I actually
Norn stones.
A testament to that too is that as soon as we got my brother actually caught the movie around the same time that we did, and as soon as we were walking out, I get a text of like, "Oh, Thanos!" And, as a comic book fan, like seeing an Avengers movie that is this damn good again was like, for a fanboy, it's like watching the moon landing. Not even thinking about like how they're going to lead into the next movie or what are they going to do. I didn't even think about that. But the fact that they actually went above and beyond and threw Thanos in there, fantastic.
Yeah, you know what? And there's been talk of them creating a Guardians of the Galaxy story,
right?
As one of their new franchises, which would be amazing. And Thanos is just like everyone knows this dude. Like he's like a Venom,
the Mad Titan.
Like even if you don't know who Thanos is, you see Thanos,
right.
It's easily recognizable. He's an awesome bad guy.
Now,
plus, at this point too, if you're doing a Thanos, the next movie's gonna have more heavy hitters.
Exactly. So
like bigger characters.
Star Fox,
Nova, Fox.
You're gonna see some space dudes.
Soifa.
I'm hoping that. What's up, dude? I'm hoping that Surfer shows up in the next one. Because of this, because you're opening Cosmic Avengers, Thor established the fact that there are different dimensions and different worlds.
Yes.
This movie cements the fact that there's threats out there. You know?
Yes.
So you could technically have that have been the negative zone, and he's waiting in the negative zone.
Yeah.
Because that makes more sense because it's a portal to like a different dimension. Loki ended up there somehow because of the broken Rainbow Bridge. So it kind of instead of linking the 9 worlds, he went into some kind of abyss.
Yes.
However, that leads into the Fantastic Four question. It leads into the Silver Surfer question. It leads into the Gauntlet. It also leads into something that I'm assuming you didn't think of it because you didn't mention it yet. Adam Warlock.
Well, yeah, it always comes into play. I just don't think how interesting he would be on air.
I think if they cast him properly,
I think if they can't get their hands on Silver Surfer, he would be the replacement for that type of character.
I think you need mega casting for like an Oscar-winning actor to be Adam Warlock to deliver that kind of Ray Fiennes. Ray Fiennes, good Adam Warlock. Liam Neeson, also great Adam Warlock.
Nielsen casting for everything.
He will find you.
Everything. I will find you.
That's it.
I will kill you.
Andrew, do we have like another 5 minutes?
Yeah. No.
All right. I think that about wraps up our review for the Avengers movie. We love it.
Yeah, we did.
It was fantastic. A+ all around. Complete home run by Joss Whedon. The movie was fantastic. Go see it if you like good acting. Awesome adventure. Crazy ass drama. Just a good overall movie.
Yep.
And I was like a little tip of the hat to you and Frankie because it's been forever since I saw a movie with 2 people I hang out with.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. But with the last remaining time, I would like to talk about. We got to talk about this Avengers vs. X-Men #3.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's about it. All right.
Rockin' book. Rockin'. We got an incredible for the books Captain America versus Wolverine fight,
which has a lot to do with Avengers stuff. It was really good stuff.
Yeah. And it happened early on. Didn't see it coming. It rocked.
Yeah.
I've never seen the move happen where Captain America cemented his shield into the wall and had his straps ripped off.
Yep.
And Wolverine messed him up, but Wolverine got kicked out of
by Giant Man.
Out of the Quinjet by Giant Man, a la the old Dark Phoenix Hellfire Club storyline.
Over the North Pole, pretty much. And like Wolverine just like landed in the snow and he's like, I guess that's it, dude. And he starts walking back somewhere. The thing I really like about the way the book is headed, even though it's on issue 3, is it's the one-upsmanship, basically. Where the Avengers have their plan and they're like, we got to do this, we got to do this. Oh no, they know we're going to do this. And the X-Men are like, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's the constant like struggle to see where Hope is going. And you have like some interesting Hope moments because it seems like the Phoenix really is attracted to her.
Yes.
But you don't know for sure at this point.
Well, you also know that Scarlet Witch is going to come into play, in a big way in the next couple of issues. Because we're rounding up. Like, this has been Ed Brubaker so far, who's writing these issues. So the next one's going to bring us a new writer and a new arc. Yeah. So each chapter, I think there's going to be 4 in total or 3 in total. We're going to get different elements of the story. and big changes happening. So we'll have like a big cliffhanger coming soon.
You're gonna have a mega cliffhanger. You're also gonna get some interesting character dynamics. I think you mentioned before to me that Captain America is more taking like a really staunch stance on this, which is kind of he's been acting out of character a little bit.
Yeah, and Iron Man called him out and actually said like, "This is what I basically did in Civil War. Like, this is you're becoming that guy." He's been a harder dude recently. He's really feeling it.
And you have Cyclops too. Cyclops turning into Magneto. Even as every issue goes by, you have the hardness of Cyclops, where he's like, the thing with Cyclops is that you have a character like Captain America who will always listen to reason, and he'll always do what's right because he's internalized that. That's why he's Captain America. He's internalized that institution of open-mindedness, of like the American mentality.
Totally.
However, Cyclops, that's a dude who survivalist. When he knows he's right, he knows he's right.
And he's militant.
Yeah.
He's become a very militant person.
He's been doing it since he was 15 years old.
Yeah, man. Born soldier.
Pick up the Avengers X-Men trailer and comic. Before we leave, though, also pick up the latest issue of Action Comics.
Rocked.
You will see Grant Morrison writing essentially what is Obama as Superman.
Which is really good. Don't let that fool you. It is an incredible book.
Extremely meta issue, and a lot of gripey stuff between him and the DC Comics publishers, which is what it seems like on the surface. Really good issue, standalone. I think it's a 2-part or 1-part. 2-part, right?
I have no idea what their schedule is.
So just pick up the Action Comics with the Black Superman on the cover. You will not be disappointed.
Awesome stuff.
Also, go see Avengers. We've said it a million times in the last 45 minutes.
Please.
A+. I'm Rich Stambolian.
I'm Jonathan Adler.
Good night, everybody.